Okay, this morning we're doing a task that Susie's agreed to film simply as evidence if she ever needs to have me institutionalized. We're going to rescue this batch of wasps. These are paper wasps, Callistes, commonly called yellow jackets. We're getting ready to activate this fan that this shutter works with, and they just can't stay there. Susie would kill them. I don't do that. Since I was 5 years old, I've kept ants, wasps, and bees. Collectively, those are hymenopterans, which I think it means membrane winged, which kind of describes them. They all have wings or thin membranes. I'm going to rescue this colony by hopefully capturing all of them in this jar, knocking the nest down at the same time, and then I will chill the wasp in a refrigerator, make them torpid, get the nest, glue it to a piece of wood that I'll nail up along here so I can move them back over there out of harm's way. It's a little lighter than I expected it to be at this time of the morning, but let's see what I can get done here. They're not alert yet. Okay. Is that jar going to be wide enough? Yeah. It did not work the way I expected. Okay, well, y'all can go back. We'll try this again tomorrow morning. Okay, it's about an hour later. We're back at the scene of the crime. The wasps are fairly calm. Of course, a bunch of their workers are out harvesting caterpillars right now. Turns out what was wrong is the mouth of the jar was too large. What should have happened is I should have been able to pull it down and knock the nest off this ridge, but the bottom slat prevented that, and the wasps were able to get around. I couldn't get it closed, and the wasps were able to get around the side. Then when a bunch of them were in the jar, I set the jar down thinking they'd fly back up to the nest, and instead one of them popped me in the corner of the eye. Wives can be kind of cruel. Susie laughed hysterically as she played back the part about me getting stung. Uh, it hurt for a while. I know it's there right now. It's a little swollen. The upper eyelid it got me in the corner on the eyelid. So I'm going to try again in the morning. I've got to come up with some method where I can knock that nest off while still keeping the wasp together in the container. I don't know. I've got to think about it. The next installment will be tomorrow morning, which I suppose is more evidence of the need to institutionalize me, at least from Susie's viewpoint. But we're going to save these wasps one way or the other. Good wasp keeping. Okay, this is a couple weeks later after the first fiasco. Susie went to New Mexico with a couple friends, and apparently they all laughed hysterically at what happened to me. There's a little bit of cruelty involved in that. Come here, Oso. Oso, come here. By the way, Oso went out and got his ear hurt, and so his left ear doesn't stand up anymore. They went hunting for who knows what. He came back like that. Okay, so what we're going to do, it's after dark. I'm going to use a long pole to knock the nest down since there's no way of getting something over it to capture all the wasps. I'm going to knock it down, let the wasps settle down a little bit, retrieve the nest, glue it onto a slat, and put it back up, and then turn on the greenhouse light so they can go back. This has about a 95% chance of me getting stung. I'm hoping to avoid the 95% and go for the 5%. Let's go do it. We'll be back in a second. Okay. Problem is, I probably need two hands. Can you hold the flashlight at something? Okay, you're not anywhere near the nest. It's down there. Okay, you got it? You're still not hitting it. Okay, there. Okay, go. There's still some on the nest. So I'm gonna have to do something about that. I guess I can try to knock them off. So they're mostly off. I need to somehow scrape that back out. Try and get the nest to where I can get it. Do anything. Oops, sorry about that. Thing keeps spinning. Get this thing out of my way. Okay, I have the nest. You can see the larvae. The capped ones are the pupae. Move back. Move your light back. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to go glue it on a slat. I'll be back in a minute. I don't know how long it's going to take to set up. Unique use of super glue. So it doesn't seem to be setting up. There it is. Not very well. The problem is it's bent. Flatten it out a bit. I don't know if that's going to hold on there. Let me go get that other clip. Holds my finger. I don't know. Seems pretty firm. Nope. Super glue is not as super as they say. Okay. Guess I'll have to leave that clip on there. But it stays. Okay, let's go see if get it put back on. Okay, move, sunshine. Move, Osa. Okay, I need for you to kind of shine the light up there. Okay. Okay, the nest is back roughly where it was. I'm going to go turn on the greenhouse lights so that the wasp can find it. Okay, so far I don't see any wasps back on it. I'm going to wait about an hour, come out and turn off the lights, and they don't find it tonight, they'll find it in the morning. Uh, I'm hoping a few of them get back so that fire ants don't, or wood ants don't get them. Good wasp keeping. Okay, last night we successfully knocked down the nest, got it put back on, got it put on that slat, put it in place. We did that after dark, as you may remember. I turned on the greenhouse lights thinking that they would come to the nest, but apparently wasps don't consider artificial lighting to be really daylight, and they didn't. So around 10:30, I turned off the lights, and this morning I came out and they were on the nest, and they're remarkably calm considering that I knocked their nest down and messed things up. That wasp actually is carrying off some remnants of a caterpillar that they fed to their larvae. Anyway, what I'll do next is tonight after dark, I'll remove that clip. There's some staples tacked along there, and I'll move that nest probably about a foot to the right, and then the next night I'll move them up over there, and that way I can wire up the fan and use this big fan for cooling. Here comes a wasp out going out hunting. Okay, well they're taking care of their offspring, and or actually most of them are taking care of their sisters. The queen is on there somewhere. So we'll get this stuff moved and get the fan set up, and then the only thing I have to deal with is in after hurricane season's over, we're getting ready to redo the tops of the greenhouses, which means they're going to be in the way again. I'll have to decide how to take care of that issue later. Okay, last night, one day after we got the wasp nest put up on this slat, I moved it. It was over here. I moved them last night to there. Tonight, I'll move them on the other side of this post, and then we'll be able to work on this fan. They took the move well. Hope they do tonight. We'll show you the results tomorrow. Okay, this is the finishing up the wasp video. Susie advises me that I said we'd come back tomorrow, and we didn't do that. This is where we moved the nest. They're tending their babies. They've adjusted to the move. That's the slat and the clips I'm using to that I use to move the slat. And there are what you can't see are a couple fence staples behind there that the clips are clipped onto to hold them. The nest is glued to that slat. They used to be over here, which and this is very shortly now. This fan's going to come into service, and these vents will open up and would have really messed up the wasp. So they are now over here. You can see they're fairly tame. They're not reacting to me at all, despite all the trauma that they went through when I knocked down their nest and moved them. Okay, good wasp keeping.